What's up guys, welcome to new Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. Today I am going to show you how to make a builder game. It's going to be a very easy video to follow, so let's get started. But first, if you are serious about learning and making your first game in Unreal Engine 5, join my Unreal Club. Inside, you will be able to download entire private files from my tutorials, enter private meetings and webinars with industry experts, access exclusive ebooks packed with the best tricks, get powerful asset frameworks to speed up your blueprints, and much more. The link is in the description. With that said, let's continue with the video. Alright, so the first thing that we are going to do is go into the content browser, right click and create a new blueprint class. In this case, let's expand all classes and search for pawn, and you will find a couple of different classes. In this case, let's select default pawn and rename it to BP underscore just player pawn. And with that said, let's go to wall settings, expand the game mode and drag this new player pawn into the third person character. So now we are changing the default character. Instead of having the third person character, we're having this, kind of flying drone that will enable us to place buildings from here. Now, of course, you can go ahead and customize this player pawn as you like. So you can make it that is more like, city builder games, where it's like you go more, in this type of direction movement, and you cannot look up like this, So it's really up to you. So let's just double click to open this up and actually begin with the building mode, right? Which is the main focus point of this tutorial. So let's go ahead and just delete all these default custom events and just create a new input action. So let's right click, say right mouse button, which of course you can replace with an enhanced input action mapping. And then once we press the right mouse button or whatever we like, we can go ahead and put in line trace. So let me also change it to a left. It's going to be easier. And now the line trace, if you don't know what a line trace is, it's just an invisible line that goes from one point to another. So in this case, it will be like from our camera in the sky to where we are looking at, so to the ground. And that will give us the location of the building that we can place, if that makes sense. So in order to go ahead and just do a line trace, we can do a drag and say line trace. Now we have a couple options. Let's select by channel, as we can literally see select a trace channel from here, which is just what we use in the collision settings and so on. So to get our start point and our end point and all of this, we just need to right click and say get player controller, and then convert mouse location to world space. That's it. Okay, this node in Unreal Engine will automatically convert the position of the mouse in our level to world space. So that way we can launch a trace from our mouse location in the screen. So for the start point, it will literally be the world location where the mouse is right now, and then for the end point, well, we just want to go forward from where our mouse is. So literally we can get the direction and multiply this by a new value. Let's just right click on the second pin and convert this into a nice float, and this will essentially be the distance, so how far away we will be able to build, right? Let's put in like 3,000 for now, or even more. I would put in like 10,000, because if you think about it, you want to be able to build from very far away. Imagine that you're looking at the sky, right, in the city or whatever. I don't know. You get me. You can really play around with this value. And then last but not least, we just need to get this wall location and add it into the direction and plug it to the end. And that's it. Okay, so now if we press for duration over here, when I press the left mouse button, as you can see, we have line trace. Now, we lost our mouse. What happened? Well, of course, by default, Unreal Engine hides our mouse and cursor. So let's just right click over here and add a begin play. And what we are going to do is literally do a simple thing, which is to copy the get player controller node, paste it in, and then say set show mouse cursor, and literally enable this. Now you see when I press play that we have the mouse cursor, and we can move around if we hold the right mouse button, okay, and then we can literally just place, and that's it. Okay, so if we click here, we spawn the building here, right? As you can see, trace is just a line going from the camera to the ground, and this is exactly what we want. So with that said, we're gonna continue over here And if we do hit something with this branch, okay, we will continue. And if we get the out hit and break it, as you can see, we have all of the parameters about the object that we have just hit, including the location. So literally what we're going to do is spawn a blueprint in this location. So let's go ahead and just do spawn actor from class, and this will be a static mesh actor. Okay, just by default. Of course, you can create your own behavior and actor if you want to have that. So for example, if your house that you're gonna build will have like lights and all this kind of things, you can of course create your own blueprint class and then put that there. But in this case, let's keep it simple. So then let's right click and split the transform. That way we have the location, rotation, scale separately, and we can simply get the location and plug it in. All right, now for the rotation and scale, I'm gonna just leave it by default because I'm not interested on that. If you want to go ahead and just make your own system to change the rotation, right, as you scroll the middle mouse wheel, whatever, you can check that out with other tutorials that I have. And then the collision, let's say always spawning no collisions, or try to adjust but always spawn. I like this one. And then that's it. We just need to say set static mesh, right, to actually fill in the model of the mesh. Now in my case, I do have a fab house model that I imported. It is free. As you can see, it's huge, so I just need to make it smaller. So maybe I will need to make it as 0.05 or something like this, right? There we go. Yeah, 0.05 will work. So literally with it selected, I'm gonna plug it in with this button over here and then put 0.05, right, in all of the axes. That way it's a bit smaller. So in here you put the mesh that you want. All right, and that's it. I mean, if I press play, I zoom out and I click, nothing happens. Why? Because we have an error getting our static mesh, because the mobility is static by default. So just go ahead, open the blueprint over here, and then let's say set mobility of the actor, and literally you say movable. That way we can now go ahead and spawn it, as you can see. Now there's one thing, the pivot of this house, if I put this 0.05 again, is on the middle. Okay, that's why the ground is overlapping. If I put the pivot on the ground, it will actually work. So literally what I have to do is go to the modeling mode with my house selected, click on X-form, edit pivot, and then click on where is it, bottom, which will be here, accept. And then if I press play and spawn a house, now as you can see, it is correctly on the ground and it's everything working. Now we just need to do one last thing, which is to preview the, of course, house placement, right, in like green or red or whatever you want. Okay, in order to do this, I'm gonna do a simple version. Okay, we're gonna go here and simply create a new event tick. Okay, an event tick essentially runs every frame. So every frame I'm gonna be checking for the valid location. So I'm gonna literally just right click this and collapse it into a function. Let's call this mouse trace. All right, there we go. So now we have the code in a nice little function that we can use. And as you can see, we have the outputs and everything. We open this up, it is literally this. Okay, so we can just organize a bit. It's very simple. And then back on here in the event tick, we're gonna use again the mouse trace, right? So we made it a function so we can use it multiple times, right? And we don't need to duplicate code. And then just from the branch, right, we have actually detected a floor. We can get the out head and break it once again. And we want to do add component by class. Okay, and in this case, of course, it will be static mesh component, because well, it's going to be static mesh. And let's right click, split it, put the location here. It will be 0.05 for my case, so it will be the same settings as we had in the other spawn, but this is a component and not an actor. Okay, and why are we building a component instead of an actor? Well, an actor will be independent. A component will be still attached to the player, and that's going to allow us to easily add it and delete it when we are previewing the mesh. And with that said, we can literally just say set static mesh, and once again it will be the house which I do not have selected. So let me go back and select it. And there we go. So I press play. So you can see we're having this houses being created, which is a bit broken. And as you can see, they're being duplicated a billion times. That's because we only have to create a new static mesh once and then simply move that new static mesh. So right before sending the static mesh, let's save this into a variable, and this will be like the, you know, build preview. So then you can just put it here and this target, and then literally just get this, do a get, right click, convert to validated get. This will give us if it's already created or not. So if it's not valid, meaning that it's not already created, we'll create it. And if it's valid, it will mean that it's already created. So we can literally just say set location, right? And this will be the world location. And that's it. We can now plug this here. Now you see that something will happen. And it's that we can actually place our house. Now everything is being broken, but everything works. So we just need to disable collisions, right? So let's go ahead and just get the build preview, and also you set collision enabled to be no collision. And last but not least, before doing that, we need to create a new material. And see, now we don't explode the cubes, but let's create a new material, and this will be m_preview. Now this preview material will essentially be like kind of the green one that we can place, right? So let's go ahead and change this to be translucent, so it can be like transparent. Let's make this like greenish or whatever. Honestly, you can put whatever color you want. And then for the opacity, let's place like 0.8. I think that'll work. And then even we can add some emissive. So maybe we can do like, you know, simply multiplication from this new color with a certain value of like 1.2 or something, and that will give it a bit of a glow, okay, which will be pretty cool. So then we simply just need to say, okay, we disable now the collision, and we wanna go ahead and set the material, and then we can go ahead and set up the preview material if we plug it in, and boom, we nearly have it. We also need to apply the material on the other slot. Okay, so if I get the house and zoom out, as you can see, it has 3 different materials. Okay, so right now we have applied the material to the slot 0, which the slot 0 is this one, but we also have to do it with the other ones. So quite literally, we need to do one thing, which is get material index, and that way we can get the amount of materials that we have. Okay, actually not material index, sorry, but materials in plural, and we will get this, which we can just use as a length. Okay, so this will give us a nice number of the amount of ones that are there, and then we can simply do a for loop, or even for each loop, and we're gonna go through each material in the static mesh, and you simply, you know, set the target. So this will be set material, and this will be through the mesh component, right, as we had, and then the array index will be this one, and the material will be just once again the preview one, and it should be, where is it, and preview. And now if I delete the house and press play again, it didn't work because we had to do one very important thing, which is to disable one. This will be build target, and that's it. Okay, so we just had to replace the mesh component, which is this one, to be build preview, and that's it. Now we have the house here that we can see and place, and there we go, everything's working. You might want to add a little sound, but that's pretty much it. We just need to go to the mouse trace and set the debug type to none, and that's it. Now we can place our house or any really static mesh. So that's it, guys. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my Unreal Club if you're serious about learning Unreal Engine 5 and you want to download this project, the project files. And that's it. With all that said, bye bye.
fucking